So the Sons of Feanor are actually really interesting, really fascinating characters, not just because of their places in the narrative and their personal character arcs and their qualities, but because they are the poster children for the point, like the fact of Tolkien didn't write about pure good and pure evil characters. Like, these are all very flawed individuals. So the thing you got to know about the Sons of Feanor is they tended to run in pairs. There's 7 of them. One of them did run alone, but the rest of them ran in pairs. And we're going to start with the youngest 2, who are the twins, Amrod and Amrys. There's not a whole lot to be said about these 2. They canonically have red hair. They die, but they die in different places depending on where you are in Tolkien's draft process. Like, are they important? Yes. Are they doing anything that I can think of off the top of my head as being super important? Not really. They're just the youngest, they got red hair, and they die. Next, let's get Karth out of the way. Karth is the one who ran alone. He is the one who had the one meeting with Haleth, and there's a video about that floating around somewhere. So personality-wise, Karth is pretty harsh. He has very sharp edges. He is the quickest to anger out of all 7 of these guys, which is really saying something. Aside from the Haleth thing and being like the one son of Feanor who ran alone, he also had a lot of really good relationships with the dwarves. So he made a lot of money in his kingdom. Sadly, aside from Haleth, when he did make alliances with human beings, they betrayed him. Like, it wasn't cool. And he was kind of considered to be the biggest jerk because he had the worst temper out of all of Feanor's sons. But in reality, the actual biggest jerks are these 2 motherfuckers. Celegorm, the blonde one, and Corin, the other one. So Corin is Celebrimbor's father, and he is the one who kind of inherited the bulk of Feanor's crafting ability. He's Caranthir's younger brother. Like, it's the twins, and then Corin, then Caranthir in the middle, and then his older brother is Celegorm. And Celegorm is the pretty one, but he's also really fucking gross. And if it hadn't been for a lot of luck on Lúthien's part, he would have taken so much advantage of her. Like, she's out here trying to live life and save her human lover, and Celegorm's like, nah, fuck you, I'm gonna marry you. Like, the fuck, Celegorm. And Celegorm and Corin and Caranthir, actually, they are compelled by the oath and the Doom of Mandos to go after the Silmaril after Beren and Lúthien leave the world, and they take part in the second kinslaying, and all 3 of them die there. Which leaves the surviving motherfuckers, the 2 eldest, Magor and Maedhros. Magor is the second oldest. He is considered to be the second best singer in all of elf kind, which, even though like he's like the second most, that's still nothing to sneeze at. And then Maedhros is the eldest, and he would be the High King of the Noldor because he is the oldest son of Feanor, who is the oldest son of Finwë. But there's some stuff that happens. He ends up passing on the crown to Fingon, who is his cousin, but also there is like a gay connotation there, which is a whole other conversation for another day. But Maedhros and Magor, they are also present for the second kinslaying, and when Celegorm and Corin and Caranthir, they die, Maedhros and Magor, they kidnap Lúthien's great-grandchildren. Because it goes, Beren and Lúthien, they have Dior, and then Dior marries Nimloth, and then they have their kids, and one of their children is Elrond's mother. Elron and Elros's mother. So then when they kill like all of Elufingol's descendants, they take the kids, and Maedhros and Magor end up raising Elrond and Elros. And there's actually a lot to be said about the influence of the Feanorians on Elrond and Elros, who was the first High King of Numenor. And I'm pretty sure this is why in the Rings of Power, in like some of the early promotional images, there's a star on Elrond's armor that all the fucking asshole fans were angry about, because it's like, oh no, Elrond would have never worn like a Star of Feanor because of like everything going on with like the sons of Feanor killing his family. But they kind of forgot that Maedhros and Magor, they raised Elrond. Like, of course he would have like conflicting feelings about it. But I think it would also shape him and who he is as a person. Anyway, Maedhros and Magor, they actually make it to the end of the war, and they are just so fucking beaten down by everything going on with the War of the Silmarils, and the Silmaril that they were chasing when their other three brothers died is in the sky in Erendiel's spaceship, which, again, there's spaceships in the story. So they are compelled by their oath to keep going and get the other Silmarils. And finally they get their hands on them, but they are just so stained with blood and so impure that Maedhros just throws the Silmaril into a mountain, and he jumps in with the Silmaril, and that's how he dies. And then Magor, he casts it into the sea, the last one into the sea, and then he wanders like the shores, like singing and full of regret. So as far as we know, Magor is out there still alive. And that would probably also deeply shape Elrond, because Magor would be like a father figure and he's still alive. And we don't know where he fits into like everything else afterwards. And he definitely doesn't re-enter the story again from what I remember. But then there's also the burning of everything in Eregion, like all of the records in Eregion. So we have really no idea where Magor fits into things now. Anyway, that is the Sons of Feanor. Some of them are a lot more developed than others. But just to sum it up, Amrod and Amrys, they're the youngest. They are twins. And they are redheaded and they are dead. Corfin is the next one. He is Celebrimbor's father. He is the craftsman. And then after that is Caranthir. He's got a hot temper. And he's got a lot of money thanks to his alliances with the dwarves. Celegorm is the pretty one, and he's a jerk, and I would physically fight him. And then Magor is the sad singer who actually lives through all of this. And then Maedhros is the guy who abdicated the throne, the throne of being High King, but also has like the gay energy with Fingon, and that's the Sons of Feanor.